It is easy to perform a good action, but not easy to acquire a settled habit of performing such actions. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. All that we do is done with an eye to something else. Constitution is the arrangement of magistracies in a state, especially of the highest of all. The government is everywhere sovereign in the state, and the constitution is in fact the government. In justice, all virtues are found in some. People never know each other until they have eaten a certain amount of salt together. Each human being is bred with a unique set of potentials that yearn to be fulfilled as surely as the acorn yearns to become the oak within it. Greed has no boundaries. I call that law universal, which is conformable merely to dictates of nature, for there does exist naturally an universal sense of right and wrong, which, in a certain degree, all intuitively divine, even should no intercourse with each other, nor any compact have existed. When you ask a dumb question, you get a smart answer. Love is the cause of unity in all things. One may go wrong in many different ways, but right only in one, which is why it is easy to fail and difficult to succeed. I say that habits but a long practice, friend, and this becomes men's nature in the end. The high-minded man does not bear grudges, for it is not the mark of a great soul to remember injuries, but to forget them. No one would choose a friendless existence on condition of having all the other things in the world. The law is reason unaffected by desire. Happiness seems to require a modicum of external prosperity. Men are marked from the moment of birth to rule or be ruled. The purpose of art is to represent the meaning of things. This represents the true reality, not external aspects. True happiness flows from the possession of wisdom and virtue and not from the possession of external goods. The pleasures arising from thinking and learning will make us think and learn all the more. 1153a23. The light of the day is followed by night, as a shadow follows a body. It is just that we should be grateful, not only to those with whose views we may agree, but also to those who have expressed more superficial views, for these also contributed something, by developing before us the powers of thought. A democracy is a government in the hands of men of low birth, no property, and vulgar employments. God and nature create nothing that does not fulfill a purpose. All food must be capable of being digested, and that what produces digestion is warmth. That is why everything that has soul in it possesses warmth. Plato is my friend, but truth is a better friend. Only an armed people can be truly free. Only an unarmed people can ever be enslaved. There is a foolish corner in the brain of the wisest man. The angry man wishes the object of his anger to suffer in return. Hatred wishes its object not to exist. The secret to humor is surprise. Friendship is essentially a partnership. The greatest injustices proceed from those who pursue excess, not by those who are driven by necessity. Probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. The precepts of the law may be comprehended under these 3 points: to live honestly, to hurt no man willfully, and to render every man his due carefully. Again, the male is by nature superior, and the female inferior, and the one rules, and the other is ruled. This principle of necessity extends to all mankind. Hope is a waking dream. To say of what is that it is not, or of what is not that it is false, while to say of what is that it is, and of what is not that it is not, is true. To enjoy the things we ought, and to hate the things we ought has the greatest bearing on excellence of character. If you prove the cause, you at once prove the effect, and conversely nothing can exist without its cause. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. Fine friendship requires duration rather than fitful intensity. We may assume the superiority ceteris paribus of the demonstration, which derives from fewer postulates or hypotheses, in short, from fewer premises. Remember that time slurs over everything, let all deeds fade, blurs all writings and kills all memories. Exempt are only those which dig into the hearts of men by love. Maybe crying is a means of cleaning yourself out emotionally, or maybe it is your last resort, the only way to express yourself when words fail, the same as when you were a baby and had no words. For imitation is natural to man from his infancy. Man differs from other animals particularly in this, that he is imitative, and acquires his rudiments of knowledge in this way. Besides, the delight in it is universal. He who has never learned to obey cannot be a good commander. Perfect friendship is the friendship of men who are good, and alike in excellence, for these wish well alike to each other who are good, and they are good in themselves. The blood of a goat will shatter a diamond. Shipping magnate of the 20th century: if women didn't exist, all the money in the world would have no meaning. The family is the association established by nature for the supply of man's everyday wants. Humility is a flower which does not grow in everyone's garden. It is of the nature of desire not to be satisfied, and most men live only for the gratification of it. Humor is the only test of gravity, and gravity of humor, for a subject which will not bear raillery is suspicious, and a jest which will not bear serious examination is false wit. Why is it that all those who have become eminent in philosophy, politics, poetry, or the arts are clearly of an atrabilious temperament, and some of them to such an extent as to be affected by diseases caused by black bile? There is always something new coming out of Africa. The chief forms of beauty are order and symmetry and definiteness, which the mathematical sciences demonstrate in a special degree. The principal aim of gymnastics is the education of all youth, and not simply that minority of people highly favored by nature. Happiness is the highest good. Intelligence consists not only in knowledge but also in the skill to apply that knowledge into practice. It is our choice of good or evil that determines our character, not our opinion about good or evil.